next speaker, Marcos García. He's a cultural manager that works in the field of citizens laboratories. So he will talk about the experiences that he has about this approach to involve communities and test and innovate in both urban and rural area. So Marcos, thank you very much for being today with us. I appreciate if we stick to the 7-8 minute presentation so that we have time as well for other colleagues to present. So would you share your slides, or do you want us to do?
I can share them.
Okay, fantastic. So the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much, Enrique. I would like to start with one idea, and it has to do with this idea that if we want to increase the possibilities of transformation towards a more just, free society and a more livable world, I think we need to increase the levels of experimentation and social cooperation. And the institutions...
I'm not sure if it is, Marcos, sorry, I'm not sure if it's only me, but I'm not able to see the presentation. Can colleagues confirm? Or otherwise I see still loading.
Yeah,
okay, I'm sorry.
I cannot see either.
It's
Okay,
coming.
It's better that you
okay, I asked my colleague
Sorry.
Miranda if she could share the screen and we start with the presentation.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right. I mean, these events, technology always have to fail to make it
Yeah.
a pure online event.
Yeah. Well, I made slight changes in the presentation, but it's fine.
It's okay. We will be paying attention to what you say.
Okay. So
Thank you. The floor is yours, Marco, now.
yeah, the idea that we don't have the institutions that we have inherited actually don't allow much experimentation and social cooperation. So that's why I think we need to build this kind of infrastructures that promote experimentation and social cooperation. To this type of new infrastructures or institutions, we have a name. We call them citizen laboratories. And this is based on the experience of more than 15 years in Medialab Prado, which is a cultural center of Madrid City Council, and other organizations around the world, especially in Latin America and Portugal and Spain, that have tested or adapted the model that I'm going to talk about. The goal of these citizen laboratories is to provide a place where people can meet and share ideas and find collaborators that allow to make these ideas a reality. So there are people proposing ideas and other people that are willing to contribute to make them possible. So I believe, I'm very glad to share this experience with you, because I believe this model of organization, this model of institution, it's very effective to promote community-led innovation. Next slide, please. So why do I think this is a very effective institutional model? Because of the hundreds of new prototypes that have been built during all these years. And also, and that's one of the things I added, the new communities that have been formed through the creation of these prototypes. So whenever a new prototype is built, a new community is also prototyped. So the diversity of projects that have been built in these citizen laboratories, it's really big. So we have projects around data visualization of the air, of the quality of air, of migrations, citizen science projects that have to do with prototyping a new biodigester to generate gas to cook, projects that have to do with education, with the building of new toys, interactive installations. The diversity is enormous, but let's go to the next slide, please. And we can see a specific project, and you can see how the model works. So normally, as I mentioned, there is a promoter or a group of promoters of an idea. In this case, Fran Diaz proposed to build open source prostheses. Actually, he proposed to build hands for kids that they don't have hands with 3D printers. And then there was a call for collaborators. So who wants to join this proposal and start to work on it? So a lot of people joined with different backgrounds: artists, engineers, social workers, families with kids affected as well. And they started to work, and because this is an open experimentation space, the proposal became something different. So actually, one of the projects called Super Geese, and you see an image there, is not actually a prosthesis with the shape of a hand. It's like a glove that you add to the arm, and then you put different devices to specific tasks. And the results, as I mentioned, cannot only be measured through the prototypes themselves, but also the new communities, the new links of people that were unknown to one another, and they met because of this proposal, this very specific proposal. And this is a new community. This project started already, I think, 5 years ago, and it continues. And if we go to the next image, please. We can see another two important features of this kind of model. One is documentation. So the learnings can be shared, and you can see in the website how the device is parameterized, so anyone can replicate and adapt it to their needs in other places. And also, on the right side of the image, you see another group very similar to the one that started in Madrid, but in another part of the world. And it's also contributing to the project from their context. If we go to the next image, you can see different labs that have happened in different places. One is called, here you see on the right, LabICPA. This is a citizen innovation lab in Panama, organized by the Secretaría General Iberoamericana. But previously, some years ago, they organized one in Colombia, in Nariño, and that's where the project in Madrid helped to grow a new group in the south of Colombia. I would like to mention two challenges that I think all of these organizations that start the labs have. And one, I think, is cultural.
Wrap up the presentation, because we are running quite late. So
I'm finishing. One is a cultural challenge. So to think of innovation culture that is not solution-oriented, and think more, go from this innovation culture to a more experimentation and cooperation culture, social cooperation culture, where error is allowed and there's a build of trust. And different, I think I would propose a different approach to resources, where the budget is not the most important thing, but how we work what we have. So if we go next, I will finish with 3 ideas to propose distributed citizen laboratories, large-scale experiment, which I think it's a different approach to the EU funding model, where networks are formed by very few partners. So I think we should think of hundreds of partners, of new labs that use already existing institutions like schools, libraries, healthcare centers, both in rural and urban context. And where the EU Commission, that would be the third idea, they offers a permanent support for these large distributed infrastructure, on sharing the model, accompaniment in the design, and also giving allowing the creation of different types of networks at different levels, territorial level, typology of institution, and also creating networks of projects like the one I showed so specific projects like the one I showed on open source prostheses. So I finish here. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcos, for wrapping up quickly. I think very important and very inspiring approach. I think it's happening in some other places in Europe. We should look at the tiers lié approach in France as well, trying to support these third places, these spaces for people to collaborate. I think it's also very relevant here for the future of urban and rural areas.